We're now going to switch to the group by transform method. This is a completely different method which performs a calculation to each group. So it works like ag. You are performing a calculation on each group, but it returns the same number of values as rows in the group. So if your group has 10 rows, it will return 10 values. Now you can actually aggregate or return an aggregation, but that aggregation will be returned to every row in the group. So let's go ahead and see how this works. And we'll begin with a review of aggregation over here just to show you the data. Here is our DF. So we're going to work with this simple data frame just so that you can understand what is going on. So this is our previous work with the ag method. So we can aggregate over here. Now with transform, instead of getting one row for every group, you're going to get the same number of rows as the original. So here I'm going to group by item, and I'm going to call transform, and then you place the, not ag, but place the aggregation over here, and I take that back. You need to say what row you're going to deal with, so quantity. So we're going to group by item, and we're going to take quantity. We're going to call the transform method on it, and sum it up. So it looks pretty similar to this, except that it's going to apply, it's going to return that same value for every row in that group. So there's 2 rows for A, which has a sum of 12. There's 3 rows for B, which has a sum of 16, and so forth. Now notice what is returned is a series. You don't get the groups attached to it, so it's kind of a little odd that Pandas has returned it like this, but that's just how this method works. So what typically happens is that you can append this to the data frame, your original data frame, to see where it, which groups it belongs to. So I'm going to make a copy of our original data, and now I'm going to just call this, I'll just say item total. Actually, just say group total. So I'm going to make a new column, and I will just append it like this. So I didn't actually run this. So df2, so here we go. So there we go, we have this is the result from transform. It's this series, and I'm appending that series as the last column in this data frame, and it's simply the sum of that group, right? So the B group has a total of 16, and it gets this, and it's just summed up for every row right here. Okay, so that is the most basic use of transform, is to aggregate, but to return that aggregation for each row in the group.